So we're in Beja, and it's a Roman festival, so they've built Roman columns, and there's a lot of red banners all over. There's a bunch of people who are actors and musicians who are dressed up, but also some festival goers have put toga-like stuff on. Looks like you can buy traditional Portuguese food at this Roman festival.
Whether there's some Roman stuff as well. There's the usual stalls decked up to look like they're Roman.
Bom dia.
Bom dia, então.
The group is Arriva Monte.
Okay.
Yes, and we play happy Roman music. We play to the red wine of Alentejo.
Hello, I'm Anna, and welcome to a very Roman episode of our big Portuguese wine adventure. We heard a lot about how they made wine last episode, but this time we're going to be immersing ourselves a little deeper in Roman history.
Hey there, I'm Al, and today we'll be speaking to the god of wine. Was that Bacchus? Anyway, this one's called Duarte.
My name is Duarte de Deus. Deus means God, so I'd say that I'm god of wine.
And while we've been figuratively immersing ourselves in Alentejo wines this series, today we're literally immersing ourselves in it. This is very mushy.
Up to our knees in grapes and marble at a wine hotel with a load of history. But to set the scene, back at the Beja festival, we met a Roman soldier who remarkably even spoke English.
We are the 7th Legion, Gemina, which is the legion that actually was around here in this part, which is now Portugal. This is a military camp with our weapons, our equipment, which we take out on walks around the city at specific times. So this is the actual tent of the centurion. And you can see because it has a desk.
And the centurion's not in because he's having a coffee, is that right?
He is. He's having a wine, historically.
Is this the centurion?
Clearly. You can tell.
The man with leather is the
The
centurion.
man with the leather.
With that.
There were horses, there were impressive costumes, and replica swords and spears.
And a discussion with the boss.
All right, so I've been given permission by our centurion to carry on explaining.
Gonna drink a beer.
Drink a beer. Okay, great, great, good. What about wine? Do you not drink wine, you Romans?
We like too much wine.
Okay.
With his blessing and his corrections on the history, because I know my fair bit, but he's been doing this for longer than I've been wearing trousers. So
You're not actually wearing trousers.
fair enough, that's a fair bit.
You are dressed as a Roman soldier.
I am just a Roman soldier, and I love every bit of it. My name is João Gregorio. I'm actually a psychologist. That's my day job. But whenever I can, I dress up, I pick up a sword, and I stab my friends. I am also a sword fighting instructor, teaching people how to stab their friends. So it's all a big, big family of stabby people. But there's so much Roman history throughout. Well, everywhere, really. They were everywhere, and they were very, very good at it. We have Roman ruins everywhere. They did build a lot of very good things, but everything the Romans did was very calculated, was very, very thought out. From the weaponry to the constructions, to geography of how they placed the settlements, everything was very well planned.
I'm André Tomé, I'm an archaeologist and I work for the municipality of Beja. This was already a very big settlement before the arrival of the Romans, and they didn't settle down through means of conquests. Basically, they made an agreement with the people already living in Beja, then it became known as Pax Julia, which means the peace of Julius Caesar. And now we have the huge ruins of two temples on the back of the main square of Beja. One of them, extremely big temple. There's no parallel in Portugal for that. So it's the biggest Roman temple found in Portugal, which means that the city was the most important city in what we call nowadays Portugal.
Have you found anything to do with wine and Romans in Beja?
There's one mosaic where we can see a dove with some grapes nearby. So we guess that wine was a very important part of the agricultural production of these Roman villas. We also find huge stones for pressing the grapes, probably. And there's one peculiarity of this region. It's a type of funerary inscription with the shape of a wood barrel.
You must really like wine if you got a barrel of wine on your funeral.
Yeah, exactly.
Your headstone.
Mosaics teach us a lot about Roman Portugal or Lusitania, and perhaps the most famous was found at Torre de Palma, further north in the Upper Alentejo.
It's now a wine hotel built on the ruins of a large Roman villa. And leaving the festival behind, it's where we met Luisa Rebello, the general manager of a family project started by her parents.
In these Roman ruins of Torre de Palma, there were found some of the most beautiful and big mosaics of the Iberian Peninsula in terms of figures. So one of the most important is called the Muse, which is a big mosaic with 9 images of women, muse. And the other one is the mosaic of the horses, where they represent 5 of the better horses that they have, the Lusitano horses.
Were they victorious horses? They went to competitions?
Yes, and it's very interesting because in this mosaic of the horses are represented with a palm on their head. So also the origin of the name of our property also comes from this mosaic.
So we're standing in a very modern, beautiful building, which is the entrance building to the exhibition for the Roman remains. And we're looking out over beautiful, endless fields of Alentejo spring flowers.
So this is the Roman villa of Torre de Palma. This villa dates back from the 1st century until the 5th century. So for about 5 centuries, Romans lived here. And this was a place, like a stopover, on the routes from Merida to Lisbon. We are kind of in the middle of these 2 cities. So the merchants used to stop over for a night and continue their trip. And this is considered one of the most important villas of the region because these mosaics, they were found with figures which are very uncommon for that time. And the mosaics resemble the traditions of these families. One of the most important families of this period is the Basili family. The Basili were known to be very wealthy and to be owners of huge hectares of land. And they had certain traditions like winemaking and also olive oil making and breeding of horses. So there were found pieces of talhas.
That's the clay amphorae we heard about last episode. And they produce a Talha-aged wine here too.
It's called Muses, after the mosaic, and has a picture of it on the label.
These were the most fertile lands that they can find. And also because of the view, the horizon, because if you look around, you can have almost 360-degree view of the land around. So they were very safe because they could see if someone was coming. So this is really a very good location. That's why the Romans established themselves here.
And so they would ride their horses, they would presumably grow and drink wine.
Yes, totally. We think that the lifestyle we have nowadays is kind of similar to what they had. So it's enjoying the nature around, drinking wine, making wine, and enjoying good food, olive oil, of course, the Mediterranean gastronomy, and of course horse riding. And nowadays we also welcome our guests like we're seeing there. on the horse-drawn carriage, our guests getting to know these Roman ruins. So it's pretty much, I think, how they used to do.
Wow, they must love that. That looks absolutely fantastic.
Did you arrange for the horse and cart to just go straight in front of us while we're like, oh, they used to live like this, look.
So imagine this, you're looking out over Roman ruins and beautiful spring Alentejo plains, and here comes a gorgeous horse and carriage just carrying people around to see the Roman ruins. This is pretty nice.
It's lovely, isn't it? But the history didn't end with the Romans. It's been a very interesting history from here on in, and maybe we could go back to the house and talk about it there.
Yes. We are walking into the Torre de Palma property. This is the front gate, and the first thing that comes in front is the tower. It's a very old tower, dates back from the 14th century, and then we have the main building on the right where the owners used to live when this was a big farmhouse.
So let's pick it up from the Romans. So after 500 years, the Basili family left. Then, for all intents and purposes, there were hundreds of years of Moorish Islamic rule here. And then the Crusaders came. Mm-hmm. What happened to this place over the years that followed?
The second period of history of Torre de Palma has to do with the royals, so the crown of Portugal. And this tower dates back from 1338, and the owner was Pedro Afonso, one of the sons of King Dom Dinis, a very important king in Portugal in this period. And what we found out was that Queen Saint Elizabeth, married with King Dom Dinis, was the one telling his son Afonso to donate this land to Pedro Afonso, to his brother.
And there's a bit of scandal in there as well, isn't there? Because it was the illegitimate son of the king.
Yes.
That she persuaded the legitimate brother to give him this.
Exactly. Pedro Afonso was not a legitimate son, but the history says that he was the most loved by the Queen Elizabeth. So the royal family was here for about 500 years. But this was not a vacation or holiday house. This was a property of farming. And at that time it was mostly cereals. All the region of Alentejo converted into this big production of cereals. And after the royal family left, this property was bought by a family of merchants. So a lot of families were dependent on this property. And when in 1974, when there was revolution that ended the dictatorship in Portugal, this property became a collective unit, which means that the workers took over the land, the owners and also the family that was renting had to leave, and the workers managed the farmhouse. It was not easy, and so they went bankrupt after 10 years. So the collective unit closed and everyone left. After this time, there were some disputes in court, and during this period, the property was falling apart, coming into ruins. And that was when my parents visited the property for the first time in 2007, looking for a holiday house in Alentejo, like a place to come on weekends, because my grandmother was from this area. And one day they found this, and they thought, wow, it's too big for the family, but too amazing to let it fall apart.
Bit of a fixer-upper.
I mean, it's a decent holiday home.
How many rooms?
If you have a really gigantic family or a royal court. Wow, what a find. And then they have spent how long to do it up?
It was a long process. They finally bought the property in 2008, And they started developing the concepts of tourism and winemaking. And we opened finally in 2014.
I'm Paulo and Isabel. We are the owners of Torre de Palma, and we are in a place with plenty of story and with positive energies.
We are both pharmacists. We love this region, Alentejo. Alentejo is a very special region in Portugal.
And this space is special for us and for the people who are visiting us.
When we met this property, we went to the top of the tower and we fell in love with this region and with this property. The property was in ruins, almost destroyed. We choose a very good architect, specialist in rebuilt old buildings.
And we built the buildings and this design hotel. So this is a space with a lot of story. And we have a very good terroir with very good wines. And we won a lot of awards in the wines, and it's very special to the wines.
It's only Portuguese varieties, yeah.
We have 3 white and 4 red.
And we say lots of time that Torre de Palma is a place of signatures, and Luís Duarte was the founder of the wine here.
That's the same Luís Duarte we met a few episodes ago, who began at Esperão.
Someone said the best person to help you is Luís Duarte.
And there's a very unusual variety of grape here, Tinta Miúda, which seems to be his calling card.
So when he came here, he was
the empathy.
The empathy was very good. And this is how this place to a winemaker is
a dream.
A dream. And the way how we do the wines, smash
stomping the grapes, like
and the very traditional way of to do wine, and is a dream for the wineries.
A dream for the winemakers.
Winemakers.
So where do we go from here?
So now we will enter the barrels area, the cellar, where the wine is aging.
Fantastic. And it's all concrete, bare concrete walls.
Yeah, you can see all the concrete walls.
This looks fantastic. Just walking through into here. Wow.
So this is our wine cathedral.
And doesn't it just sound like a cathedral?
Yeah. The echo is amazing.
That's great. What are we looking at? All these barrels.
So these are our barrels. It's all French oak. And our wines are now aging here. You can see this is the red wine and the white on the left.
Because you can see the red in the colour of the barrels because the wine soaks into the wood, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's a natural color. It's the color of the wine itself.
So what was the thinking behind the design of this, then, by the architect?
It was actually inspired in a cathedral. Like you can imagine when you enter a church and you have the...
It's almost like we're in the pulpit.
Yeah.
Like looking down on the congregation, which is lots of barrels of wine, which is fun.
My name is Duarte de Deus. Deus means God, so I say that I'm God of wine. So my friend says that I have the best job in the world. So we are in the north side of Alentejo, where it's completely different from the rest of Alentejo. Specifically here in Torre de Palma, so this is very small state, 7 hectares, 7 different grape varieties, Portuguese varieties, some native varieties. But for me, what is special is that all the red grapes, we put it in those beautiful marble tanks that we have in the middle of the winery, pink marble from the region, from Estremoz, and all the red grapes, we put it in those marble tanks, and we jump inside and we made the foot trodden. When we made the foot trodden, the process, the technique that is very old, that came from the Roman people, allow us to extract the most elegant tannins from the wine.
So you've taken your shoes off.
Yes,
You've rolled your shorts up.
Yes.
And you're going in. So we had to give grape stomping a try.
It's his first time. So the idea of stamping is because it's fermenting, all the skin and the grapes are on the top, like covering, all the liquid on the bottom. And stamping will mix and extract.
Every harvest, guests staying at the hotel can join in and help make the wine.
And so we prepared to get into the large pink marble tanks and to join the fun.
Okay, we've changed into our shorts and t-shirts
And dresses.
It's perfect.
And we're going in.
So, Maria, do I first sit on this pink
Try
piece
to
of
sit
marble?
and then you cross your legs inside.
Okay.
So we're going up a little ladder to get into these beautiful pink marble beds.
This is very mushy.
Mushy. Oops, watch out.
Yeah.
Easy. All right, I'm going to try going in as well. I'm going to roll my shorts up. Oh, it's warm. It's warm and mushy. And cold underneath.
We're bathing.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird, isn't it? I love that. It's so odd. Okay, so it's over on these. It's this fabulous kind of warm feeling clutching onto your knees with all these grapes and seeds and red juicy wonderfulness. And then underneath, nice and cold underneath. It's great.
How is the feeling?
It feels great.
We are literally stomping through warm grapes and wine. Oh my God, you guys are professionals.
There's 4 of them here, all like arms around each other. Stomping.
Yeah, help each other.
It's a great
tough
teamwork.
job, yeah.
Right, arms together. And okay, right first. Right hand. No, that's left. Other right. That one, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back. 1.
Can we go?
2. Oh,
Can we go this way? Because
okay, go start there. Oh, we're starting to get waves now. Look, the
wow.
waves. Okay, forward again. Okay, right, left, right. Left. It's quite hard work. Right.
It is.
Left, right.
I definitely recommend this workout.
So, honey, when we said we wanted to immerse ourselves in wine in this series, is this what you had in mind?
Well, no, this is literal. This is
Immersing ourselves in the wines of Alentejo.
literally.
Literally up to our knees in it.
Então, Ana,
Então.
are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's put the stairs for you.
Thank you very much. This was fun.
A lot of fun. Messy, mushy, and a brilliant experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect, Anna.
Thank you. It was great. And Duarte de Deus explained back in the cellar, this wasn't just for fun.
They only produce a small amount of high-end wines here, 50,000 bottles or so a year so far, and the foot treading treatment makes all the difference.
If we use a mechanic process, if we crush it, all the green flavor go to the wine and we have bitterness. So we have green tannins. So when we made the crush, we never crushed the little seeds, the little pips. So at the end, our wines are very gentle, very elegant wines.
You're wielding a large syringe. You were saying you would give us a tasting from one of the barrels downstairs.
Yeah, we're going to taste some Tinta Miúda.
Fantastic.
So
Great. Okay, cool.
One of the varieties that I love it, so why not try?
That's great.
From the barrel.
Fantastic. Lovely. Thank you.
Usually, I said that the Tinta Miúda gives the salt and the pepper to that special wine, give that special touch. It's really elegant. It's variety that came to Portugal almost 400 years ago. With the climate change, that variety genetically kept the acidity. So it's really interesting, really.
Funnily enough, a few episodes ago we were talking to Luis Duarte, who told us, because he was involved in planting.
Yes, in the beginning of the project.
And he had this excitement about this grape as well. And it's so interesting to hear the enthusiasm coming through, isn't it?
It's wonderful, and it sounds like a secret weapon or like a secret ingredient to make your wonderful wines.
This is a special touch for me. As I said, that's the salt and pepper. When we prepare a special dish, we put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and for me, tinta mute gives that character to the final blend.
We love your wine cathedral.
It's beautiful.
It's just so
amazing.
We love the sound of it.
Good cathedral, yeah.
There's music playing.
Yeah. Sometimes I sing a little bit of fado.
Now we're walking right in the middle of these beautiful barrels that are colored in the middle red by the grape juice.
So this is very exclusive tasting.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you. So you're opening up the stopper on the top, putting in the syringe thing. What is it in Portuguese?
Argal.
Argal.
This is really exciting.
It is very exciting, isn't it?
Well, so this is tinta mute from 2021.
Thank you. So what do you smell? Talk us through as beginners.
Sometimes tinta mute smells a little bit hearty at the beginning, some wild mushrooms, but at the end, you know, some pomegranate, some red fruits, very crispy and fresh. It's fruity and floral at the same time. For a young wine, the tannins are very smooth, very elegant. You know? Not rough.
Yes, it's very soft, isn't it?
Very soft. So remember the foot then. That makes all the difference.
It's soft but very flavorful.
It's a really nice variety. Sometimes it's not easy to make a single variety with tinta mute because sometimes it's a little bit weird variety. But in the blends, it's fantastic.
How has winemaking changed in your lifetime, I suppose, in Alentejo? The style of wine, what's being produced?
I think in the past, people want wines with high alcohol. Fortunately, it changed because the millennials they want to try different wines. So a little bit low alcohol, but very happy wines with good acidity. And wines a little bit less oaked. So that's why we try make some wines in a clay pot amphora, because we have all the Roman influence. So I think in the future our target should be more the native varieties, because those varieties, the taste of the wines are completely different, and people want to taste different things. Torre Nacional, Alvarinho, Alicante Boucher, I think people start talk about those grape varieties outside. And of course all the work around the wines with Michelin chefs or all the gastronomy or the wine tourism of Portugal is a really important work, because when Portugal is a beautiful country to travel and to know, and when people come visit us, they want to try and taste those grape varieties. They don't want to try the Pinot Noir or the Chardonnay. They want to try the authentic and the native varieties. So after they try some Alvarinhos or some Torre Nacional, they fall in love with those kind of flavors and different tastes. And I think next 10 years, Portuguese grape varieties are in the very well-known position. I think that's the future. I hope.
I'm convinced. And the more we meet people like you and your peers, the more convinced we get. It's such a privilege to be able to come and talk to you and learn. This country is spectacular in so many ways, and wine is one of the best.
We have a strong culture. We know very well how we do the wine and horses, because we have a long tradition, a very long tradition. I think Alentejo is the most genuine.
Lots of people who visit us, they are wine lovers. And also people prefer the calm and the silence and the birds singing.
And the best are the people. Yeah.
Best are the people.
A huge thank you to Isabel and Paula Rebelo, and of course their daughter and general manager Luisa, for showing us around and giving us a wonderful lunch at their restaurant.
And thanks to the now award-winning god of wine, our new Roman soldier friend and his centurion, and the organisers of the annual Beja festival for inviting us along.
That's all for this time. Next episode, we'll have a rare chance to visit a monastery with ties to one of Alentejo's most iconic wines.
See you then.